have a perfect day for football, and the roof is open, in fact, here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. 2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Pushes him over. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. And if you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. Now Chubb running right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll run with Tanner to begin the drive. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice and meetings talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
75 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Watson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Now, you've been around me a long time now. You know on 2nd and inches, I love it when teams are aggressive and take a shot, but we just saw the downside to being that aggressive, didn't we?
Now you've given up on a pretty likely first down if they had run the football, and they need to come up with something here. Touchdown! Jonathan Taylor, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by McCann, looking good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Watson's throw pulled in by Schwartz. On the move past the 40. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Being chased, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, and a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Colts had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So, Charles, this game number 2 in the NFL career, this rookie quarterback, his guys took the loss in the opener. And when asked after that game by reporters how he did, he was pretty curt. He said, not well. What did you see?
Well, first and foremost, I loved his answer to the media, because he was being honest. And those veterans in the locker room, they're looking at him to see how he's going to handle things. And they like the fact that he's not blaming other people, because I thought he struggled. The only thing that's going to help him, though, reps. No matter how many big games you played in college, how well you do in practice, the reps in the real games, that's when you begin to grow as a quarterback.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. They run once more with Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys have now moved out in front. Extra point by McKeon, up and good. The lead is now 14-10. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a first down throw, Watson. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another first down.
And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down to at the Colts' 25-yard line. And Chubb will try the middle here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Watson, he'll buy some time right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 17-14. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and the Browns are going to take possession of the football. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson going up top. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 43 yards. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession. Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit. Second down, another run with Taylor. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Running right through it. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 103 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On third down, here's Taylor. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers. Let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Steps away. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sand. We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down again. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, fires this one downfield for Chubb. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
No gain on the play there. Second down. He'll look to throw. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go, start. Hurt. Right there, hurt.
Running left, Taylor. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got it. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Taylor is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man in concert.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at the earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
On first down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he's going to have a Browns first down. His good running gets him to about the 44. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Back to throw. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. And the Browns have just about sewn up this football game. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled threw the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And again, it's Chubb. 125 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. And my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. He's back to throw. That ball caught by Campbell. And that's going to be a 1st down as he's out of bounds to stop the clock. 15 seconds to play. They'll look to throw. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked up by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, like all great games, it came down to the final snap, Charles. They had to heave it and hope, but the Hail Mary ultimately intercepted, and that's your ball game.
Yeah, and you never want to be in a situation where your entire game comes down to throwing a jump ball as far as you can. But in that situation, you want to loft it up and hope one of your guys can win in the air. This time, though, it was a defender who got up there, and that was the end of the ball game. Close one throughout. One team just had a little bit more at the end than the other.
So for the Browns, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on